What's going on, everybody? JT here, coming at you with another episode of Pokemon GO, and look what just got added to the game. Check out that skybox. Doesn't that look amazing? I love it when they add stuff like this, because it just makes it a little bit more special, you know, because we are used to seeing all the normal clouds and stuff like that, so having a big old cosmic galaxy above us is really cool. And they've done stuff like this in the past, like during the research day with Amora and Tyrant all over the place. We did have Aurora Borealises everywhere, which was cool, and when the Hoopa was around, we had like a whole bunch of Hoopa rings showing up with a whole bunch of like space around us, so I love it when they do stuff like this, and hopefully we're gonna see more stuff like this in the future. For today's grind, we're gonna be focusing primarily on XL candies. There's a lot of really good Pokemon to hunt for during the Psychic Spectacular event that you wanna get up to level 50 for future use. So to do that, we're gonna Mega Evolve this shiny 2021 Slowbro into a Mega Slowbro. This is my level 3, I guess, when it comes down to Mega Evolution for Psychic types, so every single time you use this Pokemon and have it out, it's gonna give me just a huge boost on XL candies, so I would definitely recommend you working on your Megas so you can take advantage of this stuff in the future. So as I mentioned before, there is a few Pokemon that you want to focus on. For starters, you do want to focus on Abra. I know we just had a community day for it a little bit ago, so it's not probably the most exciting thing, but Mega Alakazam is now in the game, and it's far better than Mega Slowbro, especially now that it has Psychic, which is exclusive to this event, I believe. I think only during this week, if you evolve an Abra into an Alakazam, it'll actually be able to have Psychic, so definitely take advantage of that, and also try to get it to level 3 for Megas, so you can start using a better Psychic type to give you even more XL rare candies. There are some better Megas in the future, like Mega Mewtwo, that will beat Mega Alakazam, but I don't expect us to get Mega Mewtwo for quite some time, so it's definitely worth focusing on these Abras, and as you see here, I did get an XL candy. Another very important Pokemon to focus on during this event is definitely the Ralts here, because Ralts has just so many uses. For starters, it has 2 good evolutions. Both Gardevoir and Gallade are very usable. Gardevoir is more of a PvE Pokemon for raids and stuff like that, and Shadow Gardevoir is even better and even more powerful. It's a really good fairy type. But there's also Gallade, which people more use for PvP than anything else. I never really see Gallades anywhere else. But another thing to mention about those 2 Pokemon is that they both have Mega Evolutions. Mega Gallade, I don't know how useful it's going to be. Maybe in PvP when they allow Megas to go into the Master League, which they've done once before, could perhaps be decent, but Mega Gardevoir is going to be absolutely disgusting, and you really need to focus on that Mega Pokemon, because seriously, out of all the fairy types, it might be the #1 fairy for a very, very long time. And again, Shadow Gardevoir with Charm and Moonblast is really devastating, and we do have Guzzlord coming very soon to Pokemon GO. It is a Dragon and Dark type Pokemon, so having a whole bunch of fairies like this would be great. Seriously, a Shadow Gardevoir is basically a nuclear fairy. Another Pokemon to focus on will definitely be Drowsy. Drowsy is a pretty decent Pokemon, mostly just for PvP, and really just for the Great League. I hardly ever see them in Ultra League, but Hypno is just a devastating Pokemon. With Confusion, it has all the elemental punches, it has access to Shadow Ball, it also has access to Focus Blast. There's a lot of really good moves on this thing, so if you like PvP and you haven't tried out a Hypno, you definitely should, and especially if you can get yourself some Shadow Hypnos. Those things are also really powerful. But like I mentioned just a little earlier, it is mostly a Great League Pokemon, so you don't really need to focus on it for XL candy, but who knows, maybe in the future it could be really useful in Ultra League. And since we're talking a little bit about PvP, let's talk about the Psychic Cup, which is coming out tomorrow, or today by the time you guys are seeing this, and basically you really need 2 Pokemon and then you can interchange your 3rd one, but the first one that you really need to have is Victini, so hopefully a lot of you have that, because apparently Victini with Confusion and V-Create is going to be amazing. The downside to this event is that there are no ways to get Victini candies or anything like that. You either have to walk with them, or you can give it rare candies from all the raids we've been doing, so yeah, you definitely want Confusion or V-Create. I've heard arguments as to what the 3rd move should be. Like, I think it gets Psychic, and I think it gets Overheat, and it gets one other move. In fact, let's just take a look at that real quick with an Elite Charge TM. It also gets Focus Blast as well. Okay, so yeah, out of all of those, I would say probably Psychic. I mean, there's arguments for maybe the Focus Blast, but I don't know if you'd be able to get to it in time. And then after Victini, we have Malamar. Malamar is going to be insane. It has Psycho Cut, which is a really good charging move, and then its charged moves are Super Power and Foul Play. I hear those are the best ones. Some people have argued for Hyper Beam because it hits so hard, but honestly, Foul Play is going to deal with all of your Psychic types, and Super Power is going to deal with all your Dark types, and really only the thing you have to worry about really is possibly the Fighting types that are going to be showing up in this cup. So yeah, in the end of the day, Malamar is a pretty solid Pokemon. And as for your 3rd Pokemon, I've heard of 2 possible ones that are really going to be helpful. The first one is going to be Bronzong here. Bronzong is a very solid PvP Pokemon. People have been using it for a while with Confusion and Bulldoze. You could also give it Heavy Slam, or possibly even, I believe it gets Psychic as well. Yeah, there's a few things you can use with Bronzong, but if you don't have a good Bronzong, you might be able to switch it out with this guy, Claydol. It is also pretty much similar Pokemon to Bronzong, not gonna lie. It has Confusion, it has Earth Power, which is a really good move, just like Bulldoze, and it also has access to Shadow Ball, which will be good against your Fighting and your Psychic types, not so good against your basically Dark types, but that's what the Earth Power is for. So yeah, good luck to you guys if you guys play PvP. I'll be trying out the cup a little bit because I have been enjoying PvP a bit, and yeah, these will be probably the Pokemon I use unless I hear of something way better, and if I do know of something better, I'll make sure to tell you. And speaking of PvP, there's a big resource you need for that, and that's Stardust, and luckily there is a really good task for this event that'll help you with it. It is to make 5 curveball throws in a row, and it gives you a Chimecho, which is pretty great because every time you catch one of these things, it gives you 1,000 Stardust. But something you should do right now is you shouldn't catch this. What you should do is give it a berry, and what we're gonna do from this is we're just gonna run away. The reason why we just did that is we put the Chimecho in our stack so we can save it for a future event where we might get increased Stardust. There's quite a few events that do this, including Spotlight Hours from time to time, where it could be 2 times to 3 times to sometimes 4 times catch Stardust. So having a whole stack of Chimechos with golden raspberries on them will be a very quick way to get a ton of Stardust. And another great way to get Stardust right now is if you go into the shop, you can buy this right here, the Go Battle League Time to Research Pass, and it'll give you a time to research from all the way from, I believe, September 1st to December 1st. You're gonna be able to get Stardust for winning in Go Battle League, and as you can see, it goes up to 100, which is a lot, and apparently this thing refreshes every time you complete it, and you can get things like Elite Charge TMs and, you know, Fast Charge TMs on all these things like that, but the downside is you have to do 100 each time, and I'm not the best with Go Battle League. I'm enjoying it, I think it's kind of fun, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it too far. Plus, I did get this thing relatively late on, unfortunately. I did a whole bunch of wins and such like that, and then I only just claimed this basically yesterday, so yeah, I might have really hurt myself on that front, but nonetheless, it's pretty cool that they put this in here, and it is free Stardust, so even if you don't really like PvP, but occasionally you win, occasionally you'll be able to get yourself an extra 1,000 plus Stardust, so it's pretty nice. Now let's talk about Community Day, because we now know what September Community Day is gonna be. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., it's gonna be Roggenrola, and as you can see, I already have quite a few of them, in fact, I've completed the line, but it's gonna be a fun one. As you can see, this is a really nice shiny. When it evolves into Boldore, it looks really fantastic, and when you click on it, the blue still glows orange, which is very strange. I don't know if that was a technical glitch or if they did that on purpose. And then there's finally Gigalith that does the same thing. Fantastic, but when you evolve it into Gigalith here, it will actually have a move called Meteor Beam, which according to data mines right now is pretty fantastic. We'll see how it actually turns out to be when it actually comes out, because obviously anything data mined can and will probably change in the future. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a fun community nonetheless, and the cool thing about it is we did accurately predict this one. And if you want to know what October and November community days are going to be, you should click on this video right here and it'll tell you exactly what they're going to be. But with that being said, this is the end of the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.